Don't forget that your semantic elements are the boxes with meaning, right? So when we talk about a box, we've created div tags or divisions. Those are great, but they're just boxes. When we want to talk about what creates a box with meaning, meaning that we know what's going to go inside of it based off of its name, that's the type of semantic element we're talking about. And I know that's a really, really fancy way to say a box with meaning, but that's what they're called. And remember that these are also block elements, which means that when you create one of these boxes with meaning, they span the whole width of the page by default, and nothing can sit to the side of it by default. So when we talk about those semantic element tags, the ones that are important and have meaning, we're talking about your section, your A side, your header, your main, your footer, and your article. We are talking about those options right in there because we want to make sure that we know what goes in there. Like when it's a header, we know what's going to go in the header, right? We know that it's going to be at the top of the page. It's probably going to have the logo of the website, maybe the most important information. It might even have the nav, which in this case, I didn't even include the nav on here, right? But the nav is considered a semantic element as well because that's where our navigation would go. Then you've got the main. The main contains all of the main content of the page that the user wants to see. The footer usually goes at the bottom of the page and has additional information. The article is like the most important stuff that you want people to see for the user, and that usually can be contained inside the main. And then the A side is usually to the side of the article because it's the article side. A section just allows you to divide the document into sections that have more meaning rather than just a div tag. And these were introduced when HTML5 came out, which was a few years ago. Before then, we didn't have any of these semantic elements. We just had div tags. And if you can imagine the amount of div tags that people had to use, it was insane. And not only that, but mobile devices and coders had a really hard time working between different websites because you had to think how the person originally coded it. Whereas now, if I use a header, everyone knows what a header is. You know what a header is. I know what a header is. Coders off at 7.2 know what a header is. So we can use semantic elements to keep us consistent and to make it easier for mobile devices and for accessibility for those who are hard of seeing.